We're locked and loaded.
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
So this is a new series, and if you've been on my YouTube channel before, you've seen some marathon videos and other stuff I've done. And so this is the next pursuit, and I have my friend Patrick here, and we're going to talk all about the new series and our methods for why we're doing it, and then what each week will look like. And yeah, so kicking things straight off, we are training for both a Hyrox duos, where we will be partners together, and then a couple weeks later, we will be running a marathon. Patrick has signed up for the Dallas Marathon. I have yet to sign up, but as I'm training with him, I expect to sign up soon. So that is the level set of this series. But Patrick, I want you to introduce yourself and
Yeah.
keep going.
We don't have a name for this series yet either. We'll think of something slick because it is something rare, I think, to be training for two things that are very difficult. Um, Two friends in different states, keeping each other accountable, having to just keep disciplined throughout the week, 8 to 10 workouts a week. But yeah, I'm Patrick. Tristan and I have known each other since probably fifth grade. Grew up playing sports together. Stayed in touch after school. Honestly, for the how I think of it is just similar mindsets and similar goals and passions and fitness and just wanting to be the best versions of ourselves. Um, so we bond a lot over that, and that obviously comes with fitness challenges like this. Unlike Tristan, this will be my first marathon. And I just moved to Dallas like 3 months ago, and I really want to be locked in on something. I think when I'm pursuing a goal like this, especially with someone keeping me accountable and I have to keep them accountable, it's a different type of grind, in my opinion, because I can't let Tristan down, especially when we get into describing what High Rocks is. It's very accountability driven, which I'm super excited for. But yeah, I'm Patrick. I'm in Dallas, Texas. Very, very excited just to see our bodies change, our minds change within the next 3 months, and see what we can get out of this.
Yeah, and Patrick just touched on something, the idea of pursuing something. I've always viewed myself as an athlete, and when I stopped playing team sports, it was like filling that void of, oh, I want to do more. Like, what can I do? And that's where this world of running has opened up. And now with High Rocks, it's like that's the pursuit we now have just from a physical side of things and being the best version of ourselves in that realm. Like we both believe morphs into being the best version of ourselves in our careers, with our families, with other relationships. So, yeah, we just finished week one of this training, and we have 16 weeks, well, 15 weeks until the marathon. I think 10, 11 weeks until the High Rocks. But
Mhm.
yeah, like Patrick said, it's all about this journey and ultimately doing it together, because it's kind of like we're now a team where before I was just running by myself, but now it's okay, Patrick's running 4 miles today. I feel sick, but I have to go out and do it anyways. So, so with that said, explaining High Rocks, because explaining a marathon, like marathon is just 26.2 miles running. The High Rocks, I've explained to people and people that know about it, it's definitely like the complete opposite type of training that you would do for a marathon, which for us is exciting. For other people, like I've been told, I feel like you should focus on one, and like that honestly just makes me mad. It's you can do both, and you can do both because a High Rocks is 8 total kilometers of running and then 8 exercises overall. So you run 1K and then you do an exercise such as 1,000 or 1,000 meter row, 1,000 meter ski, a sled push, burpee broad jumps, it's things like that, which ultimately just jacks up your heart rate. But running is the most important part. So inherently, when you're training for a marathon, you're building your engine, becoming a better runner, and that correlates to the High Rock stuff. So really, the big change is just what we're doing inside the gym, where it's less about, oh, I'm going to bench press today, and it's more about, oh, we're doing an AMRAP, as many reps as possible for 10 to 12 minutes, like heart rate's elevated the whole time. That's the real change. The running is still the running, but
And with that, real quick, I don't know about you and just your thoughts of being in the gym, but doing this type of hit workout is completely new to me. Being in the gym, for the most part, like you said, has just been trying to lift as much weight as possible with a lot of breaks in between sets. But with this stuff, it's a whole different animal of difficulty because for the majority of these it's like a minute break. I mean, it's ridiculous. So it's pretty much just double cardio days mixed in with functional. I guess you could call it like functional slash body weight lifting, but it's really no break. So yeah, just jacking up heart rate 24/7.
Yeah, and there's also like how I view running. If I wake up in the morning, there's days where I'm like, oh, I go back to sleep because I don't want to run. Whereas because I think mentally you have to be in it to run. Whereas
Hmm.
mentally you don't have to be in it to go to the gym, sit for 2 minutes in between each set. But with these, like I find myself scared of like, wow, this is going to be just a brutal hour. But at the same time, it's so exciting. Like it's new and it's fast paced and it changes every day. So I really have enjoyed these workouts so far.
Very exciting, and also we've talked about this for this first week especially. It's just no emotions going into the gym. It's on a list for the week of the workouts that need to get done, and they need to get done. Period. If you bring emotions in, it's just going to make it worse because you know it's going to be hell. So I think we're on the same page with that too. It's just emotionless grind, get in there and get out as fast as you can because speed matters obviously for this stuff.
Yeah. And so maybe we segue just into a recap of last week, but how we structure the weeks is we have a call on Sunday. We plan out the workouts we're doing. We're using Nick Bear and BPN's marathon training plan. So that is the large structure of our runs. And then we're using the 247, which is by George Eaton and Represent People. And we're kind of picking and choosing which workouts we do from there, but that's how we structure it. That's what we did last week. That's what we're going to continue to do. And so with last week, week one, officially, we ran a little over 25 miles. Our long run was 8 miles, and then we had two tempo days during the week. And then we had, I think, 3 days in the gym
Hmm.
where it was like Hyrox circuit based workouts, some strength stuff. But yeah, that's at least until the marathon plan really picks up. That's what I would expect we do. But then once the marathon picks up, we may be running 6 days a week instead of five, like we're doing now.
Yep. And yeah, just jumping into this first week, what were your general thoughts? How was the body feeling? Because we were running before this. You were running a little bit more than me. What were you hitting, like 20, 25 mile weeks?
Yeah, I was trying to increase by 10% a week, and I'd started at like 16, 17, 18, kind of as my rebuild. And entering last week, I had been hovering right around 20. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was a little less, I'd say like 15 to 18, but we had kind of an introduction to this week. But yeah, how was your body feeling? What were your general thoughts on the workouts?
Well, so woke up early for both Monday and Tuesday, talking like 5:30 wake up or like on the trail at 5:30, and I love that stuff because it's truly like I would only be sleeping otherwise. So it's like my days already started by like 7 o'clock with successful workouts. I would run and then go to the gym. Then I got kind of sick, so you can maybe hear in my voice. So like I hope it's just like a fluke where my body's like I want to be able to wake up at 5:30 and just run every day. Uh, so that's more just on the sickness side of things. From a overall soreness and like how my legs feel, they really felt great all week. And we had a hard temple day on Wednesday, and I really expected my calves to be sore, but they weren't that bad. And then Friday we had like an interval circuit workout at the gym, and I hit it hard, and I felt fine. And then yesterday on the long run, by like mile two, my legs were just destroyed. And so I had such a high of Wednesday, like hitting the tempo run hard, like crushing my times. And then yesterday, long run, definitely failed it, like was run walking for many miles. So I guess my body got worn down over the course of the week more than I expected. But today's a rest day and it feels good now.
Yeah, and I agree with you. in regards to just like up and downs for the first week. So my body and legs were thrashed from Monday through Saturday, I would say. Um, Upper quads kind of near the knees just from the Hyrox workouts and the wall balls and the sled pushes. I was feeling it throughout the entire week. Putting this many miles on my legs too, my Achilles and calves, not injury wise, like hurting, just sore, just super sore. They're not used to that much impact throughout the week. But all in all, just a really exciting week in general. Once again, both of our bodies were sore. Mine, I think, was a little more sore than yours. Um, but my favorite part of the week was that long run yesterday. So it was 8 miles, like Tristan said, for the BPN marathon plan. But started off, I want to talk about that workout just because, like I said, the whole week I was super sore. But for that workout, like the first 2 or 3 miles, my body and my legs were just really feeling it. I wasn't slowing down in pace. I kind of kept a 9 mile, 8:30 pace, I would say. But after those first few miles, it really just started to kick in. My body just kind of went numb and I was feeling amazing. Um, Got new shoes too, which obviously help a lot. Um, but yeah, all in all, I think it's just regardless of how you feel, just be emotionless, which you and I are really tapping into, and we're gonna have to continue to tap into for these workouts. Um, but just excited. I'm glad I was this sore for the first week. It's supposed to be that way. We're supposed to be in pain. We're doing something difficult. We're doing two things that are difficult at once. But I think that run yesterday just kind of exemplified how I feel and what I'm looking forward to for this process, which is doesn't matter how you feel, bring in no emotions to this and just get it done. Because it shows after 2 or 3 miles, I kind of went numb. I was in a really good state of mind and my pace increased and I loved that workout. Um,
Yeah,
so I think that was my highlight of the week for sure. But it kind of described the week as a whole for me too.
yeah. I mean, it's my focus for at least this coming week and the whole process is really just taking emotion out of the equation because it's like emotion is motivation and that's fleeting. Like
Mhm.
we have to train on the days where we really don't want to. Like it's not a choice to train when we're trying to do these plans. So it's about building discipline. And if I say I'm going to wake up at 5:30 and be running by 6 a.m., it's doing that. It's not letting my mind tell me, "Oh, I'm so comfortable in my bed. Like go back to sleep. You can run tonight." Like I don't want that. I want to like live in the discomfort and just get it done.
Mhm.
And like I had a smaller example of that this week where I was flying on Thursday. I flew home and I woke up Thursday. I planned to run, but I didn't. I was feeling a little sick, but that was just an excuse. And I got home at like 9 p.m. and I went out and ran the 4 miles. And that was probably the latest I'd run in a long time. But had I not done that, I would have needed to double stack Friday with the circuit workout that we had
Which you
just
don't
to
want to
make
do.
sure, yeah, just to make sure I was doing what Patrick was doing. And then immediately follow it up with the 8 miles long run, and I would have been way worse off. So it's like in that moment of like, I know I'll feel better about doing this, even though I don't want to do it. Like that's when I like just need to continue cultivating that and like actually keep doing it. So yeah. So I don't know if you had anything else to add, or else we can just jump into like quick overview of next week. Um,
Yeah, I want to hear what your hardest workout was of the week because I definitely have mine, and it was the High Rocks run, the track run. I think it was on Wednesday, I want to
yeah,
say. That thing, so to put it into perspective for the people listening, it's a 16 hunt, so it's a 1 mile warm up. Um, and then what was it? Point 0.6 mile, four sets of point 0.6 mile, then 2 minute
yeah,
rest, then a quarter
it's four
mile.
Ks. Yeah, so 1 kilometer is about 0.62 miles. So that's two and a half laps of a track.
Yeah. This workout was extremely humbling for me. Once again, body was thrashed just from the workouts prior, but this really put into perspective what this entire process is going to be like. It was brutal. Just for every single set was just pushing to my limits, trying to keep with Tristan's pace. Tristan had some good paces and some good times for these. So I was just, trying to follow his lead with this, but very difficult. Start of something great though. Um, and yeah, that was definitely my hardest.
Yeah, that one was hard. Like definitely was because you're running the K fast, and then you have 2 minutes break, and then you're supposed to run the quarter mile as fast as you can, and then you have 2 minutes break, and you do that 4 times. And but I did find myself like going to a place where like I was in that runner's high. Like even though I was suffering, like I did overall feel good about that. And maybe it's because the last couple of weeks I've been doing like similar track tempo workouts. So it's like going forward, I'm more scared about the days where it says run 5 miles at marathon pace. Like that scares me way more than when I know, hey, if you run for 4 minutes fast, you get 2 minutes break. Like, and I think that's much more mental than it is.
Mentally,
But yeah,
yeah.
because it's like physically, I'm sure I can do it, but mentally, I'm like, just get to the 2 minutes break. And so in that aspect, I don't think it was the hardest workout. I really think the Friday workout we had was the hardest one for me because it was much more faster paced. Like the rest was largely at the end of each session. Each session was a little longer. And off the top of my head, it was like run 1 minute as fast as you can, and then you were doing a 500-meter ski, and then you're running again the 1 minute, and then that was your break. But then you did that twice, and then you had 4 sets of that with a different workout, but the running stayed the same. So it ended up
That one
being
was tough too.
yeah. So that one was definitely the hardest for me. And then I think that's what led to me having a tough 8 miles on Saturday. So so
For
yeah,
sure. They all stack on top of each other for sure throughout the week.
yeah, yeah. So next week, very similar to this past week, where we have 2 4 mile easy days, just running Monday and Thursday. But on Monday, we're also stacking that a with a Hyrox lift. Then Tuesday, we have a shorter tempo run, and then also stacking that with a Hyrox lift. Then Wednesday, it's going to be just a suffer fest of a big time tempo run, a lot of volume, a lot of speed. And then Friday, we're actually doing a half Hyrox, which finishes with a 5K, so still a lot of running. And then Saturday, we are doing 10 miles easy. So that should all total out to about 28 miles, maybe 30.
Hmm.
And this past week we did 25. And then I think I had like 3.5 hours in the gym, maybe 3 hours. And so we expect pretty similar split. So around 8 to 10 hours total training. And that's not including recovery or any of the other stuff we're doing. But yeah, I know I definitely do better when I'm in a plan. And I've never done a plan like this where I'm simultaneously training for two things, nor have I done it with someone else. So like I'm definitely looking forward to this. And we will have weekly breakdowns and clips of what we've done. And hopefully these videos will just keep getting better. We'll just keep getting better and we'll just keep the process going.
Yeah, we want to be as raw and like unfiltered with this whole process as possible. And we just want to keep you guys up to date with everything, how we're feeling, what the workouts are, our weight fluctuating throughout all of this because we are still going to be lifting, but just a ton of miles on the ground. And the miles will just kind of gradually increase. I'd assume like 3 to 5 miles a week. But yeah, super excited to do this format and just have this type of structure and discipline each week with Tristan. So I'm just super excited to see mentally where we go, where our bodies go throughout this, and just see how much better we get.
Yeah. Yeah. Really looking forward to it. And so yeah, we're out about 20 minutes. I know we planned for like 10 to 12. We also knew this one would be a little longer since we had to explain everything. But Patrick, I think we end it here and then we'll catch up with everyone next week.
Yeah, I like it.
Cool.
Excited to what for what's to come.
Yeah. Let's get it.
All right, T.